Morning. So this morning I must admit I overslept ever so slightly, which meant it was a bit of a mad panic to get out this morning in time for sunrise, and I haven't. The sun's actually come up. I'm running a little bit late. So I popped over here to a spot near Loch Maree with a beautiful Slioch up there, another quite well known area for images. So yeah, but I thought I'd dash out here as quick as I could to see if I could catch some sunlight, because if you see, we've got these wonderful clouds up in the sky, and I've got a feeling once the sun gets to a certain level they're just going to catch and hopefully catch fire. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can find a composition. I'm in a bit of a rush. Yeah, but I think so. We've got this spot here. There's this one tree out here. I don't know if you can see about this tree here, which I think will be good to feature. And then there's a few sort of boulders and things lying around, so I'm wondering if I can use one of those as some kind of foreground. So the midges are definitely out this morning, but I'll let them have their breakfast. That could be my penance for sleeping in. It's definitely a mistake not bringing the midge net this morning. I have to say the smidge is sort of working. It's making it just about bearable, but I'm going to be quick. Try and take an image. I think I might even have midge. I think I'm just inhaling midges at the moment. I might have midges stuck between my polarizer and my lens. So yeah. Oh, welcome to Scotland. Right, I'm going to try and talk you through this. Try and talk you through this composition really quickly before I beat a hasty retreat from these lovely Torridonian midges. Essentially, I found this rock here, which I'm trying to use as some foreground. I've got the 16 to 35 mm lens on, and I've got it quite wide. I've got it actually at 16 mm. So I'm using this rock as foreground. As a result of that, what I'm going to have to do is focus stack these images. So I've taken a series of bracketed images, one focusing on the I'm inhaling midges. One focused on this rock, the next focused kind of in the mid-ground, and the third one focused on the tree. And I'll take a last one focused on the mountain itself as well. And then once I've taken those, I'm going to run back to the car and get myself away from these little buggers as quickly as I can. So unfortunately, I'm afraid the midges did put me off a little bit when I was taking these images, and I didn't notice until afterwards that I was actually stuck on f4. I think I just about got away with it with a focus stack, as long as you don't look at the image too closely. So I decided that I would pop down to the edge of the lake, see if I can get some images down here. I think there's certainly a lot of potential down here. There's a lot of trees on the edge of the lake, and I wonder if I can make something out of those with the mountain behind. The other thing is, I think as soon as you start moving, the midges midges stop biting you because they can't keep up with you. As soon as you stop and start getting your camera out, then they start having a field day. So I think midges and photographers, I think photographers are probably midges' favourite meal, because we do like to stand around and hang around quite a while whilst we're setting stuff up. But anyway, for the time being, I'm moving and it's okay. So we'll pop down to the edge of the lake and see what we can find. So I'll just talk you through what I've got set up here. So I've got this spot where there's some rocks just on the edge of the water, which is giving a little bit of a foreground interest in the image. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a series of images which I'm focus stacking. So I've focused on the rocks in the foreground first of all, and then I've done some focused on the trees, actually, is the next stage. I think that's probably all I need actually for focus stacking. I generally find you don't need to go too extreme and have too many layers in the image, especially with F11. So I've done that, and I've also manually bracketed the shots as well. So I find that easier when using a 6-stop filter, just to manually bracket. So I take one shot at about the right sort of middle exposure, and then I'll drop down so that my highlights aren't clipped and take another exposure using the histogram this is, and then I'll do another exposure which is overexposed just to make sure I've got all the details in the shadows captured as well. And I find I trust that more than just letting the camera do its automatic bracketing, which is how I normally bracket images just because I'm lazy. But actually sometimes I think if you manually bracket, you can sort of underexpose by 2 stops and overexpose by 1 stop or just under 1 stop. It just gives you a bit more control over the dynamic range which you're capturing in your image. So that's what I've done. As I said, I've got a 6-stop filter on here. As many of you know, I tend to go for the 6-stop more than the 10-stop. But I don't know. I'm just debating whether to do a 10-stop. I think I won't, because it's actually quite flat. So the 6-stop's just there just to take these little ripples off the water. And I think sometimes the 10-stop can just be a bit too extreme. It's mornings like this actually that really remind me of why it is that I like to do landscape photography. There's just something about being somewhere like this and setting off long exposures, 31 minute long exposures, and just setting the camera off and just sitting there and waiting for the camera to finish, and it just gives you that little bit of time just to sit and enjoy the place. And this place is silent, quiet, apart from the buzz of the occasional midge in my ear. It's just so peaceful. And a fish just jumped over there a second ago, and it's just beautiful. I must admit, when I was over at the first spot where I was taking a photo with the tree and I was getting midged, I started to think, I don't know if I'm enjoying this very much. And then when I came over here, I did my usual trick of falling in a bog. I seem to do that quite a lot. So I've now got a wet foot, and the M50 got a little bit splattered. But just here now, edge of a loch, just listening to the silence is just utterly, utterly beautiful. And yeah, I'm in my element really. I love it. So I think I'm going to call it there for the day. I think despite the midges, it's been well worth coming out, and I'm probably going to get home and find red marks all over me. But I think, yeah, it's just been so worth it. It's just so beautiful here. I absolutely love it. We've been really blessed with the weather this week actually. I'm hoping, like I said in the last video, we're up here doing other things other than photography, but I'm hoping we'll find the time. We'll get Hannah out as well, I hope. Hopefully we'll find the time to get a couple of trips and another video or two put together whilst we're here, because you've just got to make the most of these conditions in Scotland when you have them, because it doesn't happen every day. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.